Hey everyone, Hank with Outer Rim Travels here. Welcome to the beautiful Disney Dream. We are taking our typical ship tour, starting right here in the heart of the ship, the beautiful Atrium. From there, we will go deck by deck, checking out all the public spaces, end up on 11. Deck 11 is the pool deck, and deck 12, 11 and 12. So we will be visiting also Remy and Palo for the first time on my channel, which is super exciting. So let's head out, let's kick this off. Join me for the next 20-ish minutes or so. All right, let's go.
So as you board the Disney Dream, I think the most obvious realization is how wide the Atrium is, compared to my favorite, the Disney Magic. Look how beautiful that just open the space is. Off to the right, you're going to come across guest services, of course. If you've got any questions or need to kind of rearrange your dining, that's where you're going to want to go. And straight ahead, you've got the stores. So off to the left, you've got Sea Treasures, which is kind of in the center of the area. And on the right, you've got White Caps, and then Diamonds and Wishes, which are more, for adults. You've got Pandora jewelry and, regular jewelry and watches, things like that. Off on this side, at the end of the hall, you're going to come across the Walt Disney Theater. But we're gonna come over this way because we also want to explore the other side of the ship. Here you go, there's the Walt Disney Theater. Here's a quick peek. It's hard to get in there to film. And Preludes is where you're gonna pick up your popcorn and treats for the show. Off on the right here, you've got Mickey's Mainsail, which is more for the kiddos. It's where you've got your kid-sized t-shirts and toys, things like that. And here you can see Sea Treasures, again, there on the left. As you continue forward, we're going to work our way back to the Atrium. Here we go, and you've got a nice little bar here on the right, which is Bon Voyage. As you walk through the ship, keep an eye out on the beautiful murals and the artwork. Some of that artwork actually comes to life. It's really cool. Here's a little seating area. As we keep walking this way, we're going to eventually come across the side entrance to the Royal Palace dining room. Here we go. So this is the first of our rotational main dining restaurants, Royal Palace. And it is themed after the Disney princesses. Let's take a quick walk through. This is the center of the space. Everything kind of branches out from around this center table. Isn't that pretty? Let's come over this way. And as you can see, cast members are preparing for breakfast. I always ask for permission when I film and walk through the public spaces aboard any ship, actually. Over here, you're going to see portraits of Cinderella. There's Belle from Beauty and the Beast and Snow White. And off on this side, you've got Sleeping Beauty, Aurora herself. It really is a beautifully designed restaurant, and it's got some of my favorite French food aboard the ship. Let's make our way to the second rotational dining room, which is also on deck 3, but at the end of this very long hallway. Let's hit that hyperlapse. So very convenient that you've got one restaurant midship and the other in the aft of the ship. So here we are at Animator's Palate, and this is a really colorful and bright restaurant compared to the black and white treatment you're going to find on the Disney Magic and Wonder. So kind of polar opposites. Very beautiful though as well. And you've got a kind of Finding Nemo theme here with Crush joining you for dinner and interacting with the kids. It's really fantastic. So if you look around, you're going to see a lot of sketches and light boxes and even little models and things that really help tell the story of Disney animation. Take your time and walk around the dining room because there is some amazing stuff to just take in. It's not always just eat and run, Now, before we head up to deck 4, let's visit deck 2, which has the third rotational dining restaurant, Enchanted Garden. It's pretty much all there is here on Deck 2 aside from other staterooms for guests. But as you walk in, you're transported to this really elegant conservatory, as Disney says, nestled in the foothills of France. And it really is an absolutely gorgeous restaurant. I think actually one of my favorite aboard any Disney Cruise Line ship. So as you dine, the ceiling itself transforms from a bright blue daylight to kind of sunset, and then finally a really pretty nighttime sky. And those flowers you see on the ceiling, they open up and they bloom throughout dinner. It's just gorgeous. It's definitely a unique dining experience. Don't miss it. Make sure you don't schedule your Palo on the evening that you're scheduled to go to Enchanted Garden, especially on those shorter Bahamian cruises. Okay, now we're going to skip around a little bit. We're going to jump upstairs to Deck 4. Just look at that view, you guys. And off the midship elevators, you're going to come across this little DVC section right there. A little further down, you've got seating all along the left-hand side. Yeah, I just can't get over that chandelier. It's gorgeous. And the Vista Cafe at the end. Remember, your specialty coffees are an additional charge, but the pastries are complimentary. Here in the center, you've got Carriage Jewels, which is the big jewelry store. And off on this side, Shutters. This is where you select the photos that you'd like to purchase. There's a little art gallery here on the right. And as we keep walking toward the aft of the ship, you've got the Carriage Jewels side entrance over here. And then D Lounge. There you go. So D Lounge is where cast members host, family game shows, trivia, arts and crafts, things like that. It's a pretty popular space, actually. All right, let's keep walking aft. And we're going to enter the district, which is the adult area on board the ship, especially in the evenings. So after 9, it becomes all adult. You even get the red carpet treatment. You see that? So as you walk into the main space, you're going to come across the District Lounge, where there are live bands and piano players that perform here. Right across from that, you've got a little bar that goes along with District Lounge. See how pretty that is? And off on the side over here, you've got Pink, which is the wine and champagne bar. It's a really gorgeous space, and you can tell that Imagineers were kind of going for that vibe of being inside a champagne bottle. Isn't that cool? I have yet to get a drink here, but definitely next time. Just outside Pink, you're going to come across Pub 687, and it's interesting, it gets its name from the hull number assigned to the Disney Dream, because it's kind of bad luck to refer to a ship by its name while she's being built. And there's lots of construction photos, and even the keel coin is located here. Moving further aft, you're going to come across this odd little hallway full of restrooms, and they're actually some of the least busiest. Tip for you. Here at the end, you've got Evolution, which is kind of the club. They do silent disco and stuff like that. And on the opposite side, Skyline Lounge. At Skyline, the cityscapes do change, and I found it super interesting as I walked in that the Eiffel Tower was there, since my Paris trip is just a couple days away. Beautiful little space. Speaking of Paris, there's the Mini Lisa, just one of several art pieces that come to life. Here we are at the Oceaneer Club. This is the space for kids ages 3 to 10, and we're officially on Deck 5 now. First up, Pixie Hollow. Can you just imagine being a little kid and hanging out with Tinkerbell and her friends at Pixie Hollow? Such a cool space. But speaking of cool, right next door, you've got Star Wars. That's right, the Star Wars Kids Club not only includes their own R2-D2 right there. See how great he looks? But you've got the cockpit to the Millennium Falcon. So this is like the original version of Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. It's actually really fun if you play it. And all kinds of really cool props and things from the films. See that? As you continue walking over this way, you're going to come across your Pixar-themed restroom for the kiddos. Isn't that cute? And then over here, you've got kind of an arts and crafts area, where I also imagine they would give kids their food if the kids are in there at lunchtime. Disney thinks of everything. Sully and Mike. The newest kids space is this mobile web workshop. When the Disney Dream went into dry dock back in September 2024, this was one of the spaces they adjusted. Look at the spider bot. It's now got the feel of Avengers Campus out in Disneyland's California Adventure. Personally, I love this upgrade. It's very, very cool. And can't beat a Spidey suit. Wow. Yeah, you've got all kinds of giant screens with video games and things. If I were 10, I would not want to leave this space. Finally, you do have Andy's room. It's a smaller version, I think, than the version on the Disney Magic, but still cute for toddlers. There's Rex. I'm sure it's a blast when Toy Story characters pop in for a visit, you know? And you've got a nice TV here where you can watch your cartoons and Disney movies. Just down the hall, you've got the Oceaneer lab, and my apologies, we did not make it on time for the open house. But this is where kids have more hands-on activities, and they can experiment and explore. But down the hall, Pepe's got his own cabin. You'll visit that door if you take part in the Midship Detective Agency. If you work on the Muppets clues, you'll end up at Pepe's door. Here is the It's a Small World nursery. And on the opposite side, you've got the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. These special makeovers are a definite must for your little princesses and princess, because little boys can get their Captain Mickey outfits as well. And there are different tiers, so you can do just hair and makeup, or along with the dress and tiara. Don't be put off by the price, because, you know, there are different options and different packages. Besides, it's absolutely priceless when you see the look on your little boy or girl's face after having their makeover done. See the Captain Mickey outfit right there? My nephew had his done and would not take off that cap and jacket the rest of the cruise. Now, just like aboard the Magic and Wonder, notice how Deck 5, the ceiling is a little lower. Again, that's on purpose so that kids feel larger than life on their floor. But keep in mind that the rooms on Deck 5 will also be a little lower. Deck 5 is also the home to the Port Adventures desk. Of course, you should have your excursions booked way before you board the ship. And down the hall, you've got the Buena Vista Theater for first-run Disney movies. Here's a quick peek at the movie theater. I usually don't make it to Vibe and Edge, but because Edge has now been combined with Vibe, I wanted to be able to check out the space. So this is Vibe, which is for teens ages 14 to 17. This is their private space. They play games and things as well. Kind of more laid back feel. And then right on the other side is where they've got Edge now. And this is for your tweens between 11 and 14. So that's kind of their private space. Edge used to be located in the funnel, but now there's a tower suite up there, like the Wish, Treasure, and Destiny. All right, we've made it to Deck 11. Here's our pool deck. Of course, one of the highlights is the AquaDuck. You can see that up there. The Mickey slide you see over here is intended for kids ages 4 to 14, so don't try to hop on that one. But adults do have this beautiful pool area, the Quiet Cove Adult Pool, with its little bar right there in the back. The adult area also does have Cove Cafe. This is where you're going to get your specialty coffees, and keep in mind, they give you a little punch card, so for every 5, you will get 1 complimentary drink. Just outside the adult area, you're going to come across Flo's Cafe, which is kind of your quick service area on the pool deck. The very first window is Casa de la Tires, and this is where you're gonna get your pizzas. Now, from my experience, the pizzas may be a little undercooked. Just have them run it through the oven again. It'll be perfect. Next, you have Radiator Springs. And over here, you're gonna get your hamburgers, hot dogs, grilled chicken, and maters, and my favorite, chicken tendies. Ramone's is the brand new spot on the deck. And here, you're gonna get your tacos and your taco bowls. Think of it as kind of a Chipotle. Finally, the last window over here is the Taste Inn. And this is for your kind of sandwiches and paninis and wraps, salads, the healthier offerings. As we make our way aft, we're going to come across Nemo's Reef, which is a little splash zone for the smallest cruisers. Super cute little area. All the way in the back of the ship, you've got Cabanas, which is the buffet aboard the Magic Wonder, Dream and Fantasy actually. It's now called Marceline Market on the newer ships. Always keep in mind that your refreshments, your cokes, are included with the price of the cruise. Here you've got your juice and coffee machines. Love these little sand castles representing all the Disney castles around the world. What a nice little touch. And just across from that, actually, you've got the times of the Disney parks around the world. Isn't that neat, guys? Yeah, and over here we've got Disneyland Paris. I just can't wait to visit in a few days. So here you've got some of the breakfast offerings, and I did want to point out that in my opinion at least, the buffet at Cabanas or Marceline Market, basically aboard Disney Cruise Line, is generally much better than on your average cruise line. Check out the Finding Nemo mural. Isn't that gorgeous, you guys? So you've got 10 food stations in total, but keep in mind, Cabanas is only open for breakfast and lunch. You still have to have your dinner over at one of the rotational dining restaurants. Just look at the theming in here, how gorgeous it is. Definitely not your typical buffet. While the Disney Magic has the AquaDuck, kind of drops you down, the Dream and Fantasy do have the AquaDuck, which is more of a water coaster. We did have a chance to try it out, and it is just so cool, you guys. Don't miss it if you sail on the Disney Dream or Disney Fantasy. Well, we're getting close to wrapping up this tour, but as you can see, there is just so much to do aboard the Disney Dream. And keep in mind all the deck parties and fireworks and things that take place right here on Deck 11. Alright, so let's head up to Deck 12, where we've got Remy, the adult dining French restaurant. And yes, it is inspired by the film Ratatouille, and the menu is actually curated by a 3-star Michelin chef, Arnaud Lallemant. I have not had the pleasure of dining at Remy or Enchanted yet, but my guests that have rave about it. So, if you love your French food, that's something to consider for the adults on a Disney cruise. Quick trivia for you, yep, that is Anton Ego's $20,000 bottle of wine. Just across the way, you've got Palo, which is your Italian cuisine. And I have eaten here many times on various ships. I just can't recommend Palo enough. It's some of the best food you're going to have at sea or even on land for that matter. Now, of course, it does come at an additional charge. As of this recording, that is $50 per person plus gratuities. But totally worth it, you guys. You've got to trust me on that. And you can thank me later. Here's a quick tip for you. You can use a Disney gift card to add money to your onboard account right at their website. I always do that to make sure my Palo is taken care of for the cruise. It's just so worth it to pamper yourself from time to time.
There you have it. That is the Disney Dream. Isn't she absolutely amazing, you guys? And yes, I know the Disney Treasure's newest and absolutely gorgeous, but there's such a real charm to these, older ships. Personally, I love it. I love the classical feel of, the original, the Magic and Wonder, and the Dream and Fantasy. Hope you enjoyed that tour, and please keep in mind if there's anything I can do to help you with your Disney cruise vacation, that's what I'm here for. Yes, super easy, book yourself online, but there's a lot of little in and outs that I can help you with, and special dates, that you kind of need to remember. So that's what it's all about. That's why you work with the travel agent. Don't worry about that. All you got to do is worry about packing and enjoying your trip. Anyway, that's all for now. As always, have an out-of-this-world day. Take care, you guys.